Hello and welcome to the team call, you guys. I'm so excited. Sorry, I need to take one more. I should have done this before I started recording, but I need one more sip. Okay, I am literally so freaking excited for this call. If you are on my team, which I only see Rayleigh, I think maybe other people watch the recording. If you are on my team, you've heard me talk about this a little bit already, but I'm going to dive a little bit deeper. I am obsessed with Instagram. If you don't know me, I freaking love Instagram. I love everything about it. Sometimes it hates me, but you know what? I power through, and I think I can confidently say every single person on this call, if you try to build your business, you will run into a hiccup with Instagram. That's okay. You just move forward. And I want you to know that it's normal and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so I'm going to jump in. I'm going to share my screen. And we are going to talk about how to get into people's inboxes without being weird and creepy. Okay, I have two screens. So can you tell me if you can see? Okay, perfect. Cool. All right. Let's jump in then. All right, so as you guys would probably know, this all starts with Instagram. If you are talking to people, it starts with, well, I shouldn't say it just Instagram because I know that some people use Facebook, and something that I kind of want to point out is that I'm talking primarily about cold, or what I have now started to call medium market. So if you're brand new and you're still working on your warm market, that's okay. And this will still be applicable for you. But what I want you to know is that if you're working with your warm market, they have a trust in you already. And what we're doing on our Instagram is building trust with people that don't know us or that don't know us and don't trust us yet. So that's what I'm going to focus on. If you're still working in your warm market, that's okay. However, I think if you're still working on your warm market, all of these things can be implemented still right now, because the sooner you start, the sooner you'll see success. And it doesn't always happen right away. Sometimes it does. But sometimes it takes a little bit of time and a little bit of massaging and a little bit of finding yourself and finding that comfortability. And so all I can say is that the sooner the better. So if you're not consistent right now, start right now. Okay, so I know maybe it seems a little bit weird that the very first thing, if I'm talking about talking to other people and sliding into people's DMs, the first thing I'm going to talk about is your presence on social media. But I think that's the most important thing. The most important thing you can possibly do is to have a good social media presence. So what does this mean? And again, I post on Facebook, but not a ton. So I'm just talking about Instagram. Just so you know. So first of all, if you guys have started the training or if you've talked to your upline or anything like that, you should know that you should be posting about once a day. So post on your page. Your posts on your page should be beautiful. You should have, and I was just telling someone this the other day, that if you are using any content on your page that does not have you in it, they should be very far and few between. So let's say part of your brand is self-love and part of your brand is your dog. Totally both okay. And let's say you find an awesome quote that's like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a graphic, it's like a repost, let's say, and it's a really beautiful post, but it's just text, and you want to repost it. I think that's okay. I would, if you take like your first 9 photos, I would not have more than one of those be of something that does not have you in it. Maybe, like I said, maybe your brand is part of your brand is your dog, and you took your dog on a hike and you have the most beautiful photo, but you're not in it. Okay, I think that's okay, because A, it's part of your brand. People know you have a dog. If you are hiking with your friend who has a dog and you don't have a dog yourself and you take a picture of your friend's dog and then you just post this random dog and you've never talked about dogs before, people are going to be like, what? And so that's not okay. But if it's part of your brand, and it's not you, I would say 1 time for every 9 pictures you have. Okay, your content should be valuable. So what that means is the text of your post. And I know there's a lot of different opinions on this. Like if you follow me and if you ever read any of my posts, you know my posts are freaking long. I'm trying to work on that. But I would say that that's okay because you're only doing it once a day. And capture people within the first few words or within like the first sentence and make them want to read to the end. Or if you're breaking your text up, make sure that each, like, we'll call it paragraph, make sure each paragraph has something captivating, because what people will do is they'll skim. So use emojis to bring people's eyes so that if they are skimming, they're seeing the things that you really want them to see. If it's like a soft if it's a soft call to action, and you're like saying this whole big post, and at the very end, you're saying, if you ever want to know more about this, feel free to slide into my inbox. I would say a lot of people aren't going to see that, and maybe that's okay, because I think sometimes that is okay, but I would use some emojis down there or something, or like break that part up so it's completely separate, so that so that their eyes are attracted to that piece of it. Okay. Stay consistent. I mean, I don't think I need to say much about this. You should post every single day. If you don't post every single day, I think that's okay, but I would not post less than 5 times a week. I would not post less than 6 times a week. But you should be shooting for every single day. You should have a really good reason to not post 1 time every single day. Make sure, and I think especially with newer coaches, I think this is something that it took me a long time to understand and realize, but you don't just need to be posting pictures of leggings and sports bras. I know sometimes that's hard. That's hard for me, because even like when I go to work, half the time I'm in leggings, and like I wore this little t-shirt to work. Like, I know it's hard sometimes, but take advantage of any time that you're dressed up, that you're dolled up, and just like compile those photos, because it's important that you're sharing your lifestyle too. People don't want to just see that all you do is work out. Like, that's kind of boring. That's a big piece of it. Eating healthy is a big piece of it. If you're sharing pictures of your food and you've ever heard me talk, you know that I'm going to tell you that they have to be damn good photos, like professional quality food photos. Don't be posting any nasty looking food photos. But just make sure you're showing a variety. And, you know, maybe some pictures you're smiling, some pictures you're looking at the camera, some pictures you're not, some pictures are close up, some pictures have a really beautiful background. Mix it up so that it catches people's eyes and so that they don't get bored. Okay, the other piece is stories. Your stories are like kind of like your gold mine. Like, if you're not on stories, it's going to be really hard for you to be successful in your cold market. Like, just being completely like real with that. That's where people are going to get to know you. And the only way to build trust with people is for them to get to know you, because they have no idea who you are. So make sure you're showcasing your real life. And I think that it's important to show up, not necessarily as like a total hot mess all the time. But that being said, you don't have to be like, you know, wearing makeup with your hair done and like looking all perfect. Like this morning, I literally had just woken up, still in bed, like looking like a half hot mess. I mean, I was looking like a hot mess, but like, just try to present yourself in a way that you would be attracted to. But at the same time, be real. Be real with your audience. Be real with yourself. Again, valuable content. Give people, it's like, if any of you guys have ever read, I haven't read it yet, Jab, 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 Right Hook. I think it's Gary Vee. But basically, the idea is to give, and then ask. So if you're constantly sharing recipes or like links to things that you use that you're not getting like a kickback from, or talking about like a totally random example is like, everybody's been asking about my nails, so I talked about my nails and how I've been doing my nails because I've been doing them on my own. Like, that's just benefiting other people. It's not necessarily benefiting me to tell them that. Does that make sense? And like in the long run, it's benefiting me. But make sure you're giving people value all the time, every single day. You should be giving at least one piece of like super valuable content every single day. And maybe that's just a recipe. Maybe that's just like a helpful hint. Maybe that's just like your favorite tip of the day. Maybe it's a super, super inspirational quote and an explanation to people of why they should take it to heart. Like, it doesn't have to be something tangible, but something that somebody can say, wow, I'm glad that I stumbled on her page today because that was valuable. And again, be consistent. And then the other thing that you should make sure that you're always doing on your story every single day is being a product of the product. I share my Shakeology almost every single day. I share my workouts every single time I work out. And being consistent on that shows people that you're not giving up on yourself or on them. Okay, sorry. I don't know if there's any comments or anything. It looks like maybe. Okay. Sam, I don't think you're a hot mess. I really don't. I think you're just real, and there's a difference. Like, for example, if I had, like, anytime you can, make sure that you're in front of natural lighting. Like, I don't care what you look like, but if you're in front of natural lighting, you're going to look 10 times better and more professional. Does that make sense? Or like, if you're getting on your story and you're like, hey guys, crap, why did I get on here again? Oh, I just wanted to tell you guys happy Tuesday. Yeah, I'm about to go take a shower. And you're like, holy, but did you just take 30 seconds of my life to tell me that? So like, have your thoughts together, be professional, but be real and authentic. Okay. Oops, sorry. Okay. So now we're going to jump in. If you have everything that I just explained and you're doing that consistently and you're staying there and you're showing up and you're showing people that they should be coming to your page for value, for content, for something, and they will receive something that they want for free, then sliding into their DMs is easy and it doesn't feel gross. It doesn't feel sleazy. It feels really comfortable. It's not scary. It's not intimidating. And because people know the real you. Oh, I see that I put that and then I put and. I don't know what that was supposed to be. But basically, people know the real you. And so you don't have to feel like you are being phony or being someone that you're not. You don't have to put on a front, because people already know that you are a product of the product because you show them that every single day. They know that you're not selling them an empty box of tricks because they see you using them. They see your transformation with them. They see that you're happy. They see what could happen if they join you. And so there's nothing wrong with talking to them about it because they already know that you have the passion. And if you don't have the passion, then you should feel sleazy, because then you're selling something that you don't believe in. And you're never going to be successful if you're selling something you don't believe in. Okay, so this brings me into something where I think it gets a little bit confusing. So there is a difference between, I would say, like a conversation and an invite. And so kind of understanding when you're just like having a convo and when you should be inviting someone. So every single person that I feel is in my tribe that follows me, I message them. I don't say anything about Facebook. I don't say anything about fitness. I don't say anything about being a coach. I don't say anything about Beachbody. I just genuinely thank them for coming onto my page and clicking that follow button. Because guess what? There's a reason they did that. If I just posted like generic pictures of, I don't know, like stock photos and things that weren't inspirational and I didn't provide any value, they probably wouldn't have clicked that follow button. So the fact that they did means that they think that I'm either inspiring or motivational or in like, what's the other word I'm looking for? Anyways, they find something positive about my page, which is kind of an honor when you're talking about people that live halfway across the world or that you've never met before in your life and have literally no reason to connect with you other than the fact that they like your page enough to click that follow button. So don't be weird. Just be a human. It's like when somebody, like say you're in the grocery store and someone is like, oh my gosh, I just had to tell you that you have the absolute cutest outfit on ever. And you're like, thank you. And then you're just walking around like, okay. And it's exactly like that. I mean, maybe it's not exactly like that, but it's basically like that, that it should be a confidence boost. Every single time someone pops into your notifications saying that they followed you and they're not like a bot or like a creepy dude, that should be like just a little lift of confidence when you're like, okay, I'm doing something right. This is awesome. Okay. If you are doing anything that I'm about to be talking about, and you're about to send an invite to someone and you're like, oh man, this just doesn't feel right. And like I'm going to give like kind of a tiny example because I was doing this last night. And as I was sending my invites, I got to a girl that I've invited a couple times. And I had just recently commented on one of her pictures about like, I forget exactly. She was pregnant. And it didn't feel right. Like I didn't ever acknowledge the fact that she was pregnant. I didn't acknowledge anything like recently. And the last message I had sent her was an invite that she had ignored. So I got to her inbox and I was like, I feel like an asshole just like being like, hey girl, do you want to blah, blah, whatever. And so instead I sent her a message and I was like, hey, I see you're still watching my stories. Thanks for always being so supportive. I just saw that you're pregnant. Congratulations. That's so exciting. And I left it at that because it didn't feel right. Sending an invite in that moment didn't feel right, and that's okay. So I want you guys to know, like, if you are about to send an invite and it just doesn't feel good, then go with your intuition. Muted. There we go. Okay, I think everyone is. Okay, sorry. Can you guys tell that today was a super crazy day? My slides are a little bit of a hot mess. I see a couple more typos. Okay. When you actually do invite, my number one place where I invite people is through my stories. And anytime I'm seeing, like, especially if I'm seeing somebody that every single day they watch my story, or like what I like to do. So I'll go in and especially if I worked out that day, which now with Transform 20, it's like, I mean, obviously that's literally almost every single day. It was a little different when I was doing Lift 4. So I'll go into my stories and I'll go to the lap, because usually I post 2 or 3 workout videos. And so I know that's value. I know that to them, because I know for me, because to me that's my tribe. Because for me, before I started coaching, I would follow fitness pages, and my favorite ones were the girls who showed their workout moves on their story. So to me, that's value, because that's what I used to look for. So I know my ideal customer is also looking for that. So I'll go, like today I posted 2 of them. So I'll go to the second one, because then I know that those, like, I had 7 less people on the second one. Okay, so clearly 7 people didn't find value in that. So I don't need to talk to them because they don't find value in what I'm showing. So I'll go and I'll message every single person that watched today's workout video. Okay? And I'll send them an invite. Unless it doesn't feel right, but 99% of the time, I will send them an invite. And I know this question is going to come up. So if I have sent them an invite, usually I make sure that I don't send them more than 1 invite within like a month or so, maybe like 3.5 weeks. So if I just sent them one like last week, I'll probably wait. But if I've sent them an invite last month and they ghosted me, I don't care. I'm going to send them another one because guess what? They're still showing up on my page every single day, which means they find either value or I don't know, something. They find something from it. So I'm going to send them another one. So after I go through my stories, I will then go to like, if I have, anytime I have like a call to action post, even if it's a soft call to action, like I was talking about earlier, where you're just telling a little story and at the end you say, DM me if you want. I will message every single person that likes it, that feels like they're in my tribe. If they don't feel like they're in my tribe, I'm not going to invite them. But I'll message all of them and say, hey, thanks for the love on my post. I don't know if you read the caption, but I'm opening enrollment for my next boot camp. Would you like want to talk about the details and possibly like join us? Okay, every single person. And guess what? I get ghosted like, you know what? Okay. I'm going to, wait, hold on. I want to jump ahead and make sure I'm not. No, I think it's okay if I talk about this right now. So I am kind of jumping ahead, but I think it's important right now. Well, here, no, I'll wait just 1 second. Sorry, I'm a hot mess. See, I'm a hot mess. What am I doing? Then the final place that I go when I am inviting people is if I see somebody that's liking most of my posts. So for me, it doesn't necessarily feel right if I've never seen somebody's name pop up on my page and they liked one photo where I didn't do a call to action. I don't know that I'm necessarily ready to send them an invite. So I might start a combo with them. I might make sure that I'm following them and then like comment on a photo or maybe even like send them a message, but I probably won't send them an invite. But if I see the same people always liking my photos, then I know that they know what I'm about. So then I'll send them an invite. Okay. Now I'm going to go to what I was just about to say. Oops. Wait, let me make sure. So for people, sorry, I need water. Okay. So Deanna was asking what my invites look like. So I honestly switch it up every single month, especially because a lot of times I'm sending the same person a message like month after month. So like right now, I open it up with, I try not to say, hey girl. So maybe I'll say like, hey Deanna, or something like that, but I try not to even say that. I try to say something maybe like, what's up girl? Or like right now I'm saying, I'm saying, I hope you're having a good new year. This is probably the very end of, I'll be saying that because I feel like now it's getting a little weird to say that. But so think of like a creative intro like that. If you don't have one, don't overthink it. Just say, hi Deanna, hey Deanna, what's up Deanna? Like that's minimal. So I'll say, what's up Deanna? Thank you so much for always like watching my craziness on my stories. I don't know if you saw, but I'm about to be opening enrollment and I'd love to see if you want to snag a spot for my next boot camp. Like short, sweet, and to the point. And I have noticed that the shorter my message, the more responses I get. Because you don't need to get, first of all, if they're watching your stories and you're doing everything you should be doing, they already know like the gist of what you have to offer them. They know that you have to offer fitness. They know you have to probably offer some kind of shake. And they may or may not know, which they should, that you are offering some kind of like support and accountability. So they have an idea of that already. So you don't need to throw up on them. Sometimes I'll say, hey, if I send you, or if I set you up with like a workout nutrition plan, would you want to chat more? So I hope that's helpful. I try to mix it up every single time and I try to keep it super short. And I'm never afraid to not give enough information as long as I'm talking about one of the valuable pieces I have. So usually that's either my accountability boot camp or a workout and nutrition plan. I wouldn't necessarily group all of it together just because it's a lot. It's a lot of words. And something I've noticed is that when I get DMs from people that are trying to like sell me something, I'm much more likely to read it if it's really short. Otherwise, I just decline it and I don't even look at What do I say on their photos? That's hard. I mean, I don't even know how to answer that. Like, it depends on the photo. Like, if they have a dog, I'll say cute dog, but I'll be nicer about it. I would say don't ever just comment emojis unless you know the person. Like, if you've been having like a conversation like back and forth and someone's into fitness and they posted a transformation or like a gym selfie and you want to post like little fire emojis or something, like I think that's okay. But if it's somebody you don't really know, say something nice, compliment them, say something genuine. Don't just say something to say something, that too. So yeah, it depends. How long do I wait to invite after a combo? I would say that it depends. But, and this actually is a perfect segue into like the next piece of what I want to talk about with the tracking. So here's an example. Most of my combos come from people following me. I would say that's probably going to be what happens to you too, because like I'd say most of the people that you're talking to are either going to be somebody that you're inviting or it's going to be from like them following you, because most of the time you can just invite them. But so from people following me, I go, and anytime, so I don't track the people that I thank for following me. It would just take too long. So the people that respond to me thanking them for following me, I put them into Asana, and I typically within, I would say anywhere from like 4 to 7 days from the time that they responded to me, then I'll invite them. So I'll make a note whether I think that they would be a good coach or challenger, and then at that point, then I will I'll invite them. Like I would say like anywhere from like 5 days to a week. You can do less, or every once in a while it'll turn into like a bigger conversation, and then it'll happen naturally. But to be like, if I'm being completely honest, I would say that's the minority of the time. I'd say the majority of the time, the conversation dies off, and then I go back and I just say like, hey girl, I don't know, like, I'm enrolling for my boot camp. Would you want to possibly snag a spot? And like within, I would say like 4-ish days, they haven't forgotten about you yet. Even within like a week, they haven't forgotten about you yet. The reason I spread it out between like 5 and 7 days is just because I have so many people that sometimes I can't stay caught up. But I would say like 4 or 5 days is the sweet spot. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna wait. I have a slide for Q&A. So I'm going to go into tracking really, really quickly because we already kind of started with that. So, but first I want to talk about as I'm inviting people, I literally got this as a tip from someone in a diamond group that I'm with, and I think it's an amazing tip. So I used to just do little tally marks for the number of people that I invite every single day, but because I want to know how many and I want to be able to track that. But I started writing their Instagram handle down, and I do that manually. And the reason, and I'm hoping that this will answer some of your guys' questions, because to me, it used to be like, it takes a lot longer to write every single person's name down. So it seemed like a waste of time. But here's why it's not. Because then I can, if I'm sending an invite to, let's say like, okay, so I think this was on Sunday, I sent 112 invites, okay? And so of those people, I wrote every single one of their names down. And then on Monday, or on Sunday night or on Monday, when I was going through and seeing who responded, I could highlight their name. So then I could say, okay, that was a really good invite. So whatever I did there worked. Or like, last night I switched it up because because on Sunday it was a really good one because I responded to everybody that watched because I did like my entire day of meal prep. And so I asked them a question like, hey, do you meal prep too? And then like kind of slid an invite in there. So I had a lot of responses. Last night, my invites were much more generic, and I basically was just like, hey girl, thanks for watching my story. I'm enrolling in my boot camp. Do you want to chat more? And I got a lot less people replying. So I know that sometimes it's going to be a little bit different, but this way I can see like, okay, so I know that next time I meal prep, I should do that again because it worked really well. But I would never know that if I wasn't tracking it in here. But that is the extent of what I do on pen and paper. And then every single person, so all of these names that you see highlighted, as soon as I highlighted them, I also went into my Asana and I typed in their name so that I could follow up with them. And depending on how our conversation went and what we were talking about, sometimes I put a note for me to follow up with them in 2 days because they said they might want more information and I sent them more information. So then I know in 2 days, I can say, hey, did you ever get a chance to look at that information I sent? Or sometimes they said, no. They said, no, I don't want to join your boot camp. So I put them in Asana because they responded to me, and then I put it for a month. So in 1 month, they're going to get another invite from me. Okay, and then I know that like Allie especially talks about Google Streak a lot, and so I just wanted to touch on that. So I do use Google Streak as well. I do not put anybody that I don't have their email in Google Streak. Let me reword that. If I don't have somebody's email, they do not go into Google Streak. So they stay in Asana until I get their email. And I get their email when they tell me that they want more information. So I just think there's no reason for them to be there. And the thing that I like about Asana is, and I could do a whole nother training on this, but I'm not going to. So if you guys want to know anything about these, just look up YouTube videos. But the thing about Asana is that you can set reminders. And it just feels a lot less formal. I feel like Asana can be super casual and super like unorganized. Like my Asana is a hot mess, but it's okay because it works for me. Whereas Google Streak needs to be a little bit more established. And I don't really feel like I need that from people that are saying no to me, if that makes sense. Okay. Now I'm going to open it up to questions. I hope I wasn't talking too fast and confusing you guys, but I'm going to go through the questions that are already posted first, and then you guys can unmute yourself or post more questions if you want to. Okay, and I need another set. Whew. Okay, yes, you can have the slides. I'm going to fix them because there were a lot of mess ups, but I will totally post them. Okay, I knew this question was going to come up. So, do I get enough people on my story and following me so I don't have to reach out and find people? I don't know if this is what you mean by reach out and find people, but either way, I think it's an important thing to address. I do not message people that don't follow me. I do not message people that do not follow me. And the reason I think this is important is because I don't know if you guys noticed, or if it's the same for you, but 99% of the invites that I get end up in my message requests, which means that I don't follow them. And to me, that's a cold invite. And if you guys remember at the beginning, I talked about medium invites. And I think there's a big difference. I think you have your warm market, and I don't know if I made this term up, but I think I did, so I'm going to say that I did. So you have your warm market, you have your cold market, and you have your medium market. And I think that your cold market is the people that have no idea who you are. They didn't even know your name until you popped up in their inbox, and they have no trust in you. I think your medium market are the people that follow you and the people that see your content and possibly the people you've had a conversation with before. However, I don't think that your medium market has to be people you've had a conversation with. Like maybe they've been following you for 2 days. Maybe they've been following you for a year and a half. Either way, I still put those people in your medium market. Okay, but to answer your actual question, so it's kind of like a catch-22. I don't know if that's the right term. I don't think that actually works here. It's not like a catch-22. But it's like the more people you talk to, the more people watch your story. And I've been testing that. And I told you guys that I sent 112 invites on Sunday. That's not my norm. I would say I've been shooting for 75 and my minimum is 50. But what I will say is that ever since that day, when I sent 112, my viewer number has spiked up on my Instagram stories by like 75 people. So the more people you're talking to, the more people that will be on your story. And something that I didn't realize until recently was I was like, well, my number is not really growing. Like the people watching me on my story, that number is staying kind of the same. What's going on? Well, I will tell you. It's not the fact that new people aren't watching your story. It's the fact that it's becoming a wash. At least that's what was happening for me. That I wasn't having any retention. And so the people that used to watch my story weren't watching it anymore. I had some like lifers. But so the beauty of this is when you're constantly in people's inbox, you have less of that drop off. So not only are you gaining new people watching you, you're also having the same people stay in there. Or maybe not every single day, but like at least they're coming back much more often. And that's really important. And that's really huge for the Instagram algorithm. And I know nothing about the algorithm, but I do know that it says that you need people to watch you. And it wants interaction. So the more interaction you get, the more people that'll watch you. Vanessa, let me know if that doesn't answer it. But the other thing that I wanted to say was if you run out of people, you just need to grow your following. I thought I had a slide about that, but apparently I don't. But if you do not have enough people, then I would say you need to spend, I swear I wrote that somewhere. Maybe not. Okay, I'm gonna add that when I give this to you guys, because I really thought I put that somewhere. Anyways, so I suggest Captivate. I love Captivate. Stim Social if you want to invest. But I think that if you don't have enough people, you just need to get more eyes on you. And the way to do that is by growing your following. Do I ever have small combos in invite? I have trouble transitioning into inviting without sounding like all I wanted to ask, if that makes sense. I'm going to be totally honest. I used to be like that too. And here's what I would say. Sorry, if you guys, I want to say this for the recording because I don't know if that made sense. Basically, the question is, when you're having a conversation with somebody, how do you make it not seem like you only just wanted to sell them on something? And here's the thing, everybody's going to be different. What I learned for me personally was that I'm not a small talk kind of person. Like, no offense, but if I don't know you, I don't really want to talk to you. Like, we can talk for like a minute and then I'm done. And not everybody's like that. But my tribe will also be like that. So what I started doing is if a conversation happens naturally, then I'll go with that. And I like it. And then it feels good. But if I feel like I'm constantly asking questions that feel forced, or if I'm constantly saying things that feel forced just to carry on the conversation, it doesn't feel genuine anymore. And so for me, I cut that off. And if the conversation ends, the conversation ends. But they go into my Asana, and then in a week, they get an invite from me because we had a conversation. They're probably watching me. And so I would say, like, only do what feels genuine. If you're finding that you're having a conversation and it doesn't feel genuine anymore, cut it off. But that's just my own personal opinion. And I would also say, if you are having these conversations with people, they should be liking your photos. And if you're having a combo and it seems like the other person is into talking to you and like they don't feel like, because you can tell when someone's like one-wording you and stuff. If like it's not like that and they seem like they're genuinely liking your conversation and they're not liking your photos, you need to think about your content, because maybe they're not seeing it, but if you're in their inbox, they should maybe be seeing it. So maybe work on your content. And I'm not saying like your content's probably great, but that's just kind of like a general thing. I hope that answered it. I don't know. I feel like that was kind of a roundabout answer, and I hate when people do that to me. So just comment again if you're like, no, that wasn't a good answer. Asana, Google it. Google it and watch a video, because I could do a completely different, like I could do a whole nother training on it for Asana. What do I typically say for a coaching invite? Okay. I typically say something like, okay, most of the people that I invite to coaching post about fitness on their page, or they have gorgeous photos that I can tell that they want to get into. Like sometimes you'll run into a girl who she literally looks like she should already be in our industry or like with some kind of like social marketing company, but you don't see any links, and like you can kind of tell she's not, but her page is beautiful, but she only has like 300 followers. And you're like, okay, you can tell this girl is trying to get into it. She wants to be an influencer. Or there's a girl that maybe her page isn't that beautiful, but she's posting like gym selfies all the time. So I would go and I would say, either for the first girl, I would say, hey girl, your page is absolutely gorgeous. I'm sure you get asked all the time, but have you ever considered like being a social media influencer? Most of the time, those girls will say, yeah, I've thought of it, but I don't know how to start. For coaches that look like they're already into fitness, I'll say, hey girl, looks like you're killing it on your journey. I'm into fitness too. Or I saw you're into fitness too. Like you're killing it. I'm hosting a group where I'm going to talk about like how I mentor women who want to be online fitness coaches. Would you possibly want to learn more about it? And that's it. Again, short and sweet, to the point. Compliment them, and then and then like give them some kind of value. Okay. Find more people watch you when you do the 5-3-1. Totally. The more active you're on people's pages, the more they're going to watch you, because they want to know who this girl is that's liking their stuff. So I don't know. Okay. Got a welcome message from a profile you've been actively following for 3 years. I can see where that would feel gross. And so what I would say, and I don't know if you're asking a question or if you're just saying that, but for anybody that doesn't already know this, when you go into your followers, it sorts them by like the amount of time that they've been following you. So like say somebody likes your photo, you see that they're following you and you've never messaged them, don't just like go in there and be like, hey girl, thanks for following me, because of exactly that. Like they'd be like, I've literally been following you for like a year. You're welcome. Like then it's just weird. So I always go and like every single day I go to the very top where my followers are, and I'll start at the top and I'll just go down from there. And then you know like when you're done, because you'll see somebody that you've already sent a message to. How do I grow my following? I hope I already answered that, but I use Captivate. I also use Stim Social, but I like Captivate better, but it takes more time. I do Stim and Captivate. I'm thinking about canceling Stim, but I'm going back and forth. Do I send out? Okay, 50 to 70 invites every day. Yes and no. So like last week I ran a sneak peek. So from Monday when I like I would say like from Sunday night to Wednesday was kind of like my sneak peek time, from the time that like I posted my help wanted until I had, I closed registration. I did not send one invite during that time because I had over 200 applications and I had like 130 girls in that group. So I honestly, and I hate this excuse, but I just didn't have time. Because here's the thing. I had 103 girls to talk to, or 130 girls to talk to. And I sent emails to over 200. And so I wanted to have a personal connection with those people rather than speeding through my time with them just so that I could invite other people. So if you're running sneak peeks and you only have, let's say, like 20 applications and 10 girls in your group, there's nothing wrong with that. But that doesn't mean you can, like, don't be like, oh, well, Christina said whenever she runs a sneak peek, she doesn't do invites. Okay, that's true, but that's because I'm already talking to a lot of people. So use your judgment. And what I can say is, like, okay, have you ever heard a trainer say, like even one of our super trainers, I know I've heard him say it, like, if you cheat, you're only cheating yourself. Like, they don't care. If you skip those last 3 push-ups, friggin' Autumn doesn't know. She doesn't care because she doesn't know. And so if you're making excuses for yourself, I don't care. Allie doesn't care. Like, if that's on you. So, and Justine, I'm not talking directly to you. I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking in general. Stim and Captivate give you real people if you do it right. I mean, if you don't set up your Stim, and if you just like let it do it on its own and like follow whoever it wants, no, you're not going to get real people. Captivate you do because you pick your people. Like, it's literally all manual. That's why I say it takes a lot longer. But Stim, it took me a while to get dialed in, and then I got dialed in. And now, don't get me wrong, I still get creepy guys. I still get people from, like, I don't know, random countries that I've never heard of. I still get weird bots, but the majority of them are not those people. Okay. This is fun. I love when you guys ask questions. Just so you know, questions are like my favorite. And I feel like every single time I'm like, does anybody have any questions? And then it's crickets. And I'm like, damn it. Yes, we need a picture. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. If you guys don't have any other questions, I love you guys so much. If you guys don't have any other questions, if you do have questions, I still have the chat up. But let's take a picture real quick. Everybody get ready. Because guess what? This is your job. I'm excited. My cheeks are like pink. Getting all flushed, hot and bothered. Okay. Sorry. Okay, is everybody ready? Smile. Oh my gosh, you guys, I had the flash on. I have to do it again. Do you all hate me?
Deanna, you got me?
Okay, I'm doing it again. You guys ready? Okay, that was better. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I don't see any other questions, I don't think. So I'm going to end this. I'm going to end the meeting. Oops,